What is going on, guys? This is your boy SQ420. I'm welcoming y'all back. Another episode, Showtime with the Cube. I have got my co-host with me, the powerful Corey Hughes. The powerful. Are you feeling powerful today?
Too powerful.
Too powerful. I had to turn his mic way down. He's so powerful. We also got our resident movie expert. Expert extraordinaire, Ryder Lee. Ryder, are you doing well this afternoon?
Doing great. Ready to watch this Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen any of the trailers yet, so it's going to be brand new to me. You'll get my my live reaction on this bad boy.
Live reaction. All right. Of course, your hostess with the most is XQ420. I think I'm doing at least decent, okay? And decent is all we can hope for. Now, if it's your first time to the channel, don't hesitate. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. If you listen to us on a podcast platform, hit the follow button. We appreciate everybody who's been checking us out so far. So as Ryder always drops what we're looking at, you know.
I'm sorry.
What we look at, and that's okay. That's okay. Hey, that's okay. We'll take it. We'll take it. It's not a loss here. Everything's wins around here. That's what we like to do. But the newest Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer. Now, a few months ago, I think it was about 2 months ago, me and Corey did an initial reaction to the first trailer. But Marvel has recently came out with a new trailer to the Ant-Man and the Wasp that is totally different from the first trailer. It gives us a little bit more of an indication on what we're going to be looking at here. So I don't want to waste any time. I want to go ahead and I want to jump directly into this trailer so then we can start talking about this particular trailer and the Marvel Cinematic Universe in its entirety. So let's go ahead and hit that right now.
You're an interesting man, Scott Lang. You're an Avenger. You have a daughter. But you've lost a lot of time, like me. We can help each other with that. Who are you? I'm the man who can give you the one thing you want. What's that? Time.
It can rewrite existence and shatter timelines. You cannot trust him.
I don't care who this guy is. I just lost so much. He can give us a second chance.
Let me make this easy for you. You will bring me what I need, or everything you call a life will end. May not want her to watch this.
We had a deal.
You thought you could win.
I don't have to win. We both just have to lose. I'm sorry, Cassie.
So there it is, Ant-Man and the Wasp, the newest trailer. Totally different from the first trailer. This one seems to be bringing into fold a little bit more of what's going to be going on in the film. Obviously, Scott Lang, Ant-Man, is going to be searching for things which I believe is going to be able to release Kang from the quantum realm. So we want to go with thoughts, initial thoughts. Corey, seeing how me and you did the first trailer, what do you think about the second one?
The trailer looks fantastic. Now, I have really mixed emotions over this new movie because what has been my biggest gripe with all these Marvel films is that every single one of them, they get are fucking saving the universe from something, right? And this one, it's life as you know it that has to be saved if he doesn't do what Kang wants him to do, right? So once again, it's everything or nothing. It's all on the table here, and I'm tired of the grandiose nature of these Marvel films. Now, I want to go back, like I've said before, to your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man who fights like the one local neighborhood villain, like we saw in Samaritan, right? So I love that concept. This breaks from that for me. Now, putting that aside, the special effects look killer as usual. They just keep getting better and better. I still need to understand more about this realm that is in the quantum realm. Like the dude looks like he's got a castle down there, right? So that needs to make a little more sense to me. I'm not feeling that because the quantum realm is supposed to be a realm that is beyond tangibility, right? It's you can't even understand it when you're there. So how can people be building castles and stuff, right? So I'm a logistics guy. Don't feed me a line of bullshit that violate all logistics that would be possible. I know we're talking superheroes here, but still, you have to maintain some boundaries, and I hope they don't cross them.
Okay, all right. Ryder, seeing how this is your first time, you didn't see the first trailer, which was the first trailer was more of showing them getting sucked into the quantum realm, and then just kind of exploring it, and Janet Van Dyke letting them know, hey guys, there's this dude down here, there's this ninja down here, and like he's the shit, and he'll fuck you up. And I forgot to tell y'all about that, and that's my bad. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think about this particular trailer?
I think that this looks like complete and total garbage. I think that it looks horrible. It looks like it was shot in 2020 and they didn't want to use any real life sets. They just decided to do it all CGI. Right? That's what the entire thing looks like. But again, I haven't seen the first trailer. Maybe there's more of them being around in real life with buildings and stuff around them. But that's what I liked about it.
No. This is the quantum realm. Everything they're walking around is pretty much going to be CGI for the most part.
I think that's. I
don't think they're going to be on Earth for long. Yeah,
that's so dumb to me. I don't like that at all, and I think that it looks. To be honest, I haven't watched any Marvel movie after Avengers Endgame besides Spider-Man No Way Home, and I only watched that because of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield coming back as Spider-Man in that movie. Mm-hmm. I have not watched one other Marvel movie after that. I didn't even watch Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's just getting tiring and boring doing the same things over and over and over again, and they have to connect everything into this expanded universe. Like, I really think that DC had the right idea with just doing standalone movies and not making it a part of a huge cinematic universe. I really believe that. I think that was a solid idea. Now they're kind of going back on that and not doing it too much, but I know we're talking about Marvel here. I just don't really care for anything that Marvel has put out since Endgame, and I know that I'm not the only one that's felt that way because the box office for Marvel movies has dropped significantly since Avengers Endgame. Now there is talks and rumors and speculation that Marvel is in talks with Robert Downey Jr. to bring him back for Secret Wars, the next Avengers movie, which is expected, right? Whenever your box office is dipping and taking the hit that it has, I mean, in no way possible are they losing money. I don't think that they're losing money, but they're not making huge amounts of money like they were before, right? I don't know. There's just something about Marvel now that it just does not interest me at all. Like, I just don't. It feels like they're just throwing shit together to just throw shit together to put out something because they've created this whole persona behind them. It's kind of like how, this might be a horrible example, right? But a comedian, right? If you're a comedian and people are only used to watching you on TV and they laugh at all of your jokes, and then you go and meet that comedian and then that comedian doesn't make you laugh, right? In person, then you're going to be like, oh, well, that's, he's not funny. But that's just the persona that's been put out there to get people roped in. to make you think that they're like super funny, and they might not be funny. I know that's probably a horrible example, but that's really the only example that I can really come up with right now of my feelings about Marvel. And I just don't like that it's all CGI. There's no like real sets. It's just lazy. It's lazy doing it that way. I don't know. It might be the only one, but just don't like it.
I can agree with most of that. Unquestionably, they've just been pumping out movies for money. Well, I think they would make way more money if they put out a third the amount of movies they're putting out and make them way better quality. They'd make way more money.
No, I want to make a caveat here. I am actually really excited about Deadpool 3. I think that that's going to be a fantastic movie because Hugh Jackman is coming back as Wolverine, and I've always loved Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I think maybe whenever they get the Fantastic Four moved into the Marvel universe and get the X-Men into the Marvel universe, I might be like, hey, this is freaking awesome, but they've waited so long to do that. They bought Fox back in 2018, 2019, and it's like 2023 now, and they haven't introduced any X-Men or no Fantastic Four yet. What are they doing? They're dropping the ball.
They can't recast till 2026. So that's why you've seen Professor Charles Xavier and Doctor Strange as the same guy. They cannot legally recast anybody until 2026. So do not expect to see anything resembling any new X-Men in the Marvel Cinematic Universe until after then. Now, they have taken a step back and decided to reevaluate some of their upcoming films with some of the duds. Some of the things, I'm not so much concerned myself about the CGI aspect. My concern with the most recent films is the fact that we don't have any type of in-depth villain breakdown. So the villains have been lackluster at best. So let's go to one of the most recent films, Thor: Love and Thunder. Gore the God Butcher. Gore the God Butcher. There was a massive amount of people that were hyped about this. I watch a guy. His channel is geek. His channel's Comics Explained, and this dude's like a comic nerd. But he just went through the breakdown of what Gore the God Butcher did, how it took 3 Thors from 3 different timelines to actually take him out. Like he's fueled by hatred from the Necromancer, or all that stuff. So you're like, okay, I'm about to see Gore the God Butcher. I mean, so I'm gonna see something. Well, he had about 15 minutes of screen time. And I seen him kill one god, and that was when he first got the sword and just stabbed him in the neck. And I was just like, was that it? And they got Christian Bale for that. I'm like, y'all could have not wasted the money on Christian Bale and just got some other dude, to play Gore the God Butcher. And the premise is that I think a lot of their most recent films, they haven't taken it. The film's not serious. So I love Spider-Man No Way Home. The film seems serious. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna have this type of cataclysmic event, I need the film to be serious. The issue is that like Thor, he's became a joke. He's just like a walking joke now. You're just like.
Well, you have to remember that the only reason that Spider-Man No Way Home was good was because it was made by Sony. It wasn't made by Marvel Studios. That's why it was good. All these other films that have been coming out have been from Marvel Studios.
Mm-hmm. Well, and look, this is why this is my hope and anticipation for this particular film is that it will actually give us a big bad that we can expand upon across multiple films. Now, even though Thanos was not in, you just seen bits and pieces of him in the films prior. Once he hit the screen, he had true screen presence in the 2 Avengers film. Now, Kang, we've got to understand that he is multi-dimensional. All of his variants, for the most part, are trying to transverse timelines. So we're going to see Kang in various different forms. It's not just going to be the Kang you see here. From what I understand, in the Secret Wars, the Beyonder is a variant of Kang. That's what some rumors are. So we're going to see this Kang character in many different forms. And so the conclusion to come about to try to actually finally beat Kang, I think will be intriguing over the years. And I think that's where a lot of the films are missing out, is that we don't have a villain with motives and somebody. sometimes you want to root for the villain. You know what I'm saying? Like the villain's so intriguing that you almost kind of root for him. And I also like to see where the protagonists are in some type of trouble, where they're not laughing things off. In the newest Thor: Love and Thunder, Thor laughing as Gore the God Butcher has his sword to his neck. I'm like, ain't nothing funny about this. He making jokes. So I was like, what we really got going on here? So I think if we move more towards a more serious aspect, develop the writing, and the writing's been bad. I'm not gonna lie about that. Now, is that because they've been incorporating some TV shows and they've had to diversify some of their writers so they're not able to focus on projects? Could that be the case? Do y'all think that could be the case? They've had to divert across many, and they have some of the same writers, that they've been kind of spread thin and haven't been able to focus. Y'all think that could be the case?
I think that they are doing too much. They're doing way too much. They're just pumping out movies left and right and not really caring about the storyline or the writing, and they're making it all funny with humor and laughs and jokes. And that works for some movies. That worked really good for Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, perfect for that. And then they started throwing in a little bit more humor here and there. And then now it's just like you said, I haven't seen Thor: Love and Thunder, but I've heard and I've listened to reviews about it, that it's just jokes and laughs the entire freaking movie. Mm-hmm. Like, that doesn't work. Like, they need to go back to their original kind of writing process where they just sprinkle in a few jokes when it's timely, when it's warranted, not just, all the time, 24/7, right? Because you have to bring some of that gravidity to the movie that you're watching. If not, then it just takes you out of the movie, right? If people are just laughing and joking the entire time, then you don't think that there's any consequences for these characters, right? So I don't know. I think they've spread themselves too thin. They're trying to just throw out movies left and right, and they're not using what you mentioned, that they can't recast the X-Men before 2026. So what is the reasoning behind that? Why can't they recast them?
The rights are still owned technically by Fox up until that time. That's when it gets the full transfer. From what I've understood, what people have said, which is why they had to reuse. They had to get permission to reuse Xavier X in Doctor Strange. So that's why it was the same guy.
Wait, James McAvoy was in.
Look, Jean-Luc Picard. What's his name? Bald dude, old bald.
Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart. Yeah,
he was in Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness. Yep, because when they went to the alternate universe, it had Professor Xavier. It had Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four, and then it had Captain Carter. And then it had the black woman who I guess technically in that universe became Captain Marvel. And Doctor Strange was actually dead in that universe. They killed him in that universe.
Which Reed Richards was it, from the original two Fantastic Fours or from the reboot of Fantastic Four?
No, neither. This was the Reed Richards that everybody said would be a perfect casting for. I can't think of that guy's name, but yeah, they got obliterated because they're in an alternate universe, So that technically they're not part of the real universe, the universe that we're in right now.
So the rights to X-Men isn't up until 2026, but the rights for Fantastic Four is up before 2026. That doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah.
How does that work, though?
I guess it just depends on at what time you purchase the licensing or whatever for particular characters. So, because if I'm correct, I don't think Sony won't give up the rights to Spider-Man. They're just allowing Marvel to use Spider-Man. Isn't that correct?
Right.
Yeah, like they won't give up the rights to it per se. So it's almost kind of like with Venom as well. They had the rights to that character. Venom was technically in Spider-Man. He was in Spider-Man No Way Home, wasn't he? Just like for a few minutes.
At the end, what's his name? Tom. I can't remember the casting of Venom. Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy
Yeah.
was at the very end of the third Spider-Man movie, and also the Paramount owns the Incredible Hulk rights. That's why
Mm-hmm.
there's never been a standalone Incredible Hulk movie out of Marvel
Well,
Studios too.
That they ain't got a clue what to do with him. They got no clue. The Hulk now, it's just like, dude. I mean, he got his ass whooped by Thanos. Then he down there taking pictures with chicks, slapping booty. I'm just like, man, what is this? Why the Hulk out here with his glasses on, sophisticated, slapping booty? I need the Hulk to be whooping some ass, okay? I mean, save Smart Hulk for some other time, okay? Because you did that, and we got to think as well. They're doing their TV shows as well. I mean, how many TV shows they do over the past couple years? Yeah.
And are
10?
all of the are they going to renew all of those TV shows too? Are they going to make a second season for all those original?
Loki is definitely having a second season, and that makes sense because Loki is directly tied in with Kang. That's got a direct connection. Kang that's actually the first time you see Kang in the MCU. Is actually that his name in that is actually He Who Remains, and he gives you the breakdown of his variants and how he reigned supreme over the variants and created the sacred timeline that's about to be shattered. So yeah, that's the first. So Loki, I do know Loki's having a season 2, but most of these were just standalone seasons. I know they already said they nixed the She-Hulk season 2. I was like, oh, thank you. But then they said she was going to be in a movie. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, be in what movie? I said, a movie? She-Hulk? No, there ain't no way, man. I mean, you just like,
Stop it. Get some help.
I mean, it just ain't no way. Don't put She-Hulk in nothing else, okay? Unless it's a porno, all right? I mean, because that's the only thing she was good for. But she got done by 3-4 dudes in 3 hours. 3 hours worth of screen time. I said, dang, you doing the dude an hour? I mean, shit, bro. This is you doing more dudes than you doing a soap opera. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they just threw shit on the wall for all those TV series, and I don't think that any of those are really going to pan out. And especially if you're to expect people to also watch a TV series to be caught up on any of the actual movies that are coming out, that's
And
a
some
far
of that
reach.
stuff you have to do. Some of that stuff you have to like Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. If you didn't watch WandaVision, you'd be looking at that shit like, what am I looking at? And when did this happen? That's exactly, if you didn't watch WandaVision and you went and watched Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, you'd be like, man, I'm lost. I mean, like, really. Last time I seen Wanda, she was crying because Vision was dead. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, she up here talking about some kids. What's this? So, I mean, some of that stuff, like, if you don't watch it, you're not going to have a clue why these characters are here or anything. So, that's where you go when you try to expand the universe too much, potentially. But, I mean, they know they're going to get eyeballs, though.
I feel like I can't keep up with everything, and I don't want to watch half the shit they put out. And so then when something like Doctor Strange comes out and it's got a character from WandaVision that I didn't watch, I was like, I didn't know what the hell was going on, you know? So, yeah, I'm really not appreciating the volume of content they're releasing.
Mm-hmm. And I think they said they're going to scale back because, Blade was supposed to be coming out November of this year. And then I actually made a video about this where they were like, yeah, the script was 90 pages long and there was 2 fight scenes. I'm like, 2 fight scenes? This is Blade. He don't have any other job. He don't cook. He don't bake cakes in the morning. You know what I'm saying? He don't work at Starbucks in the morning and go fight vampires at night. He a vampire slayer. That's it. That's his job. There is no other job. Okay? He got no other job. All right? He ain't making content. You know what I'm saying? He ain't doing YouTube videos on the side to make ends meet. Man kills vampires. The whole movie should be about fighting. You know what I'm saying? What we talking about? You see, this is the poor decisions I'm talking about. And like the Blade movie needs to be rated R. It needs to be rated R. That's what it needs to be. Marvel, it's okay. If it's rated R, you know what they're going to do? They're going to take their busted ass kids to the theater and watch the shit. But if they let the kids change their gender, yeah, they're going to let them watch this movie. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so, come on now. I had to throw that out there. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
If 10-year-old change their gender, they're going to watch this rated R movie. Come on, man.
And Disney's already made the adjustments to produce rated R movies on Disney Plus too. They got
Right.
they got Logan on there. It's just a different kind of setting. You just have to go in and change the settings for Disney Plus to show more explicit content.
MA.
So they can.
Yeah, MA.
Well, if future movies hold true to previous patterns over the decades, we should see the pendulum swing the other way, and we should be in for an onslaught of rated R films in the next couple years. That's kind of what I'm predicting for the markets overall, because that's what people want. People want to see blood and tits, and to go back to the 80s. That's all there is to it.
I want them to be more gritty. If they can make Kane gritty, if they can make it where the stakes where the stakes for the characters are high, like you're like, okay, this character's not making it out of it. Like make it gritty like DC. You know what I'm saying? If they can make their villains a little bit more gritty, a little bit more menacing, that's why everybody loved Thanos, because I mean he immediately went out there and what's the first thing he did? He beat the dog shit out of the Hulk. He snapped Loki's throat and he pimp slapped Thor. And they're like, holy shit, this dude is serious. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you got to have that serious element of your villain. And then if they're intriguing, if they say a couple catchphrases that are good, not that they're funny, but that are good. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite ones from Thanos I play right now.
You
But
could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me.
I mean that's one of my favorite lines, bud. I mean that's from the end game right there. He's just sitting there on the stump, just like, yep, I'm back, motherfuckers. I mean, so what's up? I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm here to kick y'all's ass again. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
And a lot of what
Kick your ass the fuck
Thanos
out.
says, it makes sense too. So it's like, you know, there's like a struggle with the viewer on, you know, what to believe
Exactly.
in and what side to be on too. So
Exactly.
and they haven't developed that kind of character for this new phase of movies, this new generation of Marvel movies.
Yeah,
They
not
haven't.
yet. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping that they do right here with Kang. And there's a whole bunch of different directions they can take it, because he is going to be multiple variants of himself. So,
But are they really
you know,
going to do that in an Ant-Man movie, though? Are they going to introduce a huge bad guy and a really big guy that's going to expand out into other movies in an Ant-Man movie?
Mm-hmm. Well, he's already been introduced. So he was actually introduced in Loki, and like I said, that gave you the groundwork. And there he was. When he talks about why he does things to keep the sacred timeline intact, so his variants don't arise and fuck shit up. Because he's like, man, like we literally had a war against each other that was going to destroy the multiverse, because each variant of himself was vying for power.
That's
And
even
like
worse.
they're-
That's even worse, though. X-Cube. They introduced their next big bad guy in a TV show that half the people didn't even see. Though it doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't know. I don't remember what movie Thanos was first in. I think that it was one of the Iron
first
Man
Avengers.
movies.
I thought
Oh,
it was the first Avengers.
Yeah, I think it was the first Avengers, right?
Yeah, he was just
And-
at the end, sitting on the throne.
And everyone saw the first Avengers film because it was huge, right? I don't know.
Mhm.
I just don't see them throwing this bad guy that's going to expand and be the big, huge bad guy like Thanos, introducing him in a TV show.
Mhm.
Um,
Well, here's what you can hope. You can hope Jonathan Majors' acting, takes us to that promised land. Maybe it ain't CGI. I mean, I've enjoyed Jonathan Majors in the movies that he's been in, that I've seen right here recently. So maybe his acting prowess, maybe that'll take it over the top. So maybe you have some type of charisma, bravado. Maybe the character you'd be able to align with in some type of way. So, I mean, there's always hope, but hope's not a strategy. So, so I mean, it just, but that's all we got right now until we actually see the film. Okay, until we actually see the film and how that's going to affect things overall. And of course, we've had some, like I said, they're pushing a whole lot of their projects back. So I believe they've heard their viewers as far as like, hey, y'all are just putting shit out, and it don't even look like y'all even thinking about it. Y'all just making it just like, man, here you go, bro. I mean, is this good enough? Y'all said y'all wanted more Marvel, right? It's like,
And that strategy worked for a while. It really did.
Mm-hmm.
Like 10 years ago, the films that were coming out in regards to Marvel Universe were like, I don't really, Avengers was the cream of the crop, and before that, Iron Man, the first one. But like, really, the majority of their films seem to have followed that model, and people are just finally getting fed up with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not enough people though, because they still rack up close to $1 billion every movie. Except for like Black Widow and shit. I don't know. The Phase 4, that they admit they did bad in Phase 4, because that's what we're coming out of. This is the start of Phase 5. This Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. They admit they did bad in Phase 4. They're like, Phase 4, we fumbled the bag. Black Widow was the first one. I was like, you could have not made that movie. Once again, the villain. People's like, man, the Taskmaster. This dude, which turns out to be a chick, for some reason we need to change that, learns your moves as you're doing them. And so he's extremely hard to beat. And so we're like, hell yeah, the Taskmaster. We're going to see a whole lot of hand-to-hand combat. And the Taskmaster was like in the movie for like 5.5 minutes. You're like, okay, so we didn't get Taskmaster. Okay, I got you. Shang-Chi, didn't nobody know who he was. Okay, Bruce Lee. And I thought that movie was decent enough. Spider-Man No Way Home, everybody agrees that film was great as far as bringing characters back. Then we have Thor Love and Thunder. It just, like, we brought Christian Bale in to stand around and do nothing, so that was a fail. Then we have Wakanda Forever, which was just more like, female empowerment forever, as opposed to, it's just some of that fall flat. And you didn't really have, like, Namor was technically a villain, but he's not really. So it was just like, I'm just missing, y'all are missing some secret sauce here. And then sprinkle that in with all the TV stuff they did, and then their latest TV rendition, which was She-Hulk. Man, you want to talk about ending the shit on a bad note? Oh my God, that's probably the worst thing. That's the worst thing made in the past year. There's no doubt about that.
I think they're like redoing like a pattern here, because if you remember in Iron Man 3, they hyped up that villain, the guy with the rings. I can't remember what his name was, but he was supposed to be the villain in Iron Man 3, and they did the whole trailer thing making him out to be the villain, and he wasn't really the villain in Iron Man 3. He was like the terrorist or whatever.
Yeah, you're talking about godly. I know what it is.
He had like 10 rings or something,
yeah.
And he had like these magical, mystical powers, and then he just turned out to be like a terrorist person.
Yeah. He was an actor. He was actually an actor. Yeah. Yeah, he was actually an actor. Yes. So they did do that as well. So maybe the start of Phase 5, they'll pick it up. Okay, there's potential. We can't bury them yet. You know what I'm saying? Even though they're trying to bury themselves. You know what I'm saying? Maybe this will at least get a foot of dirt off of their grave, per se. And as long as it's not, look, all we ask, some good writing, at least some decent acting, okay, and a fairly compelling storyline with a good villain. And I think you can make a decent movie. I mean, could y'all agree to that, or am I off basis?
Yeah, you're completely correct. 100%.
Yeah. Simplify it down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You can extend this out, and that's fine. But simplify it down a little bit. Yeah, everything ain't got to be all over the place. Now, y'all did see MODOK in the trailer as well, and if I'm correct, MODOK is actually a variant of Darren Cross, who is Yellow Jacket in the first Ant-Man and the Wasp film. So MODOK is actually a variant of Darren Cross, who was Yellow Jacket. That's what the rumors are right now. So it looks like he will be returning in this film as MODOK. So we're not sure if MODOK's going to be made out as the main villain throughout most of the movie, and then come to find out Kang is actually tricking him into being able to get out of the quantum realm, or how that's going to work out. So it'll be very interesting to see that. So, that is Ant-Man and the Wasp, the newest trailer. Be coming out right here in a month's time. That will be out. So we'll be giving y'all a review on that. So, Ryder, Corey, y'all got anything else for the people out there?
think I'm good, my friend. I think we covered it, and I might have been a little rough on the trailer. I'm just
It's all good.
I'm so over Marvel and all their stuff. I'm just waiting for the X-Men to get involved, and like I said, with Wolverine being in Deadpool 3, I think that's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be a banger of a movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then when you start incorporating, you know, all of their Fox characters that they've, you know, acquired, then I think that it's going to change things, and I might actually start watching it again. But yeah, I might have been a little rough on it, but again, I haven't watched any of the trailers, haven't watched any of the movies, so is what it is. I suppose.
It's warranted. It's warranted. Corey, what's your thoughts?
Well, I don't see this movie as being anything pivotal or changing anything in the storyline, nor in the hearts and minds of the moviegoer. But I hope that in the next few films that do come out, we see something a little grittier, a little more, you know, I don't know, a little less superhero-ish. You know, I don't know how I'll say. People are just over superheroes. I think that's just what it comes down to. And so they need to kind of adjust their business model accordingly.
Well, I'm going to say one thing, okay? Superheroes is the only thing that kept movie theaters open. Because in 2020, 2021, 2022, but there was a few Top Gun, a couple other ones, but man, if it weren't for Marvel movies, them bitches would be shut down. All right now. They'd all been shut down. Without Marvel, and I know we bag on everything, they bring asses to seats every time. I mean, without a shadow of a doubt. So, you know, it just kind of is what it is there. We'd like to see something, we'd like to see a good film, and I definitely want to see a good film, which they've lacked over the past few. But, you know, they bring asses to seats, and the theaters need them. Otherwise, who won't go to the theater ever again? Which some people don't go to the theater anyway, but I like going out there and just chilling, you know what I'm saying? Depending on what movie it is. These movies I like to watch at theater. So yeah, this episode of Showtime with the Cube. Let us know y'all's thoughts on Ant-Man and the Wasp, what you're expecting. Yeah, if you think you might like the film overall, what do you think about Marvel? What do you think about Marvel overall? So we hope y'all did enjoy this episode from your boy HQ420, Corey Hughes, and the resident movie expert, Ryder Lee. We'll catch you on the next Showtime with the Cube. Peace out.